Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I've done a few videos on cult-like ministries and organizations. One out of Atlanta recently, where a gentleman just got, within the last year, got convicted of multiple crimes. I've even done a couple of stories on some cult-like ministries in St. Louis that led to some missing people trying to be found and other convictions on the cult leaders. And here's another one. We many times have the presumption that many of our past cult type ministries and leaders have been white males, but now you're seeing quite a few black male individuals who are participating in cult-like activities and organizations. And this one has to deal with two particular ex-NFL players who are part of a particular cult type ministry, and the bizarre behavior that has taken place that involves an ex-NFL Indianapolis Colts player and his son. And this is coming to you straight out of Indiana. So here we go. Bizarre history of Straitway Truth Ministry after ex-Nfler'S missing son is found at the compound in early morning FBI raid. The Straitway Truth Ministry's pastor, Charles Dow, has spoken about Bryson Muir and the raid that led to the boy's discovery. Dow is the leader of the religious group and uploaded a video on YouTube just hours after police raided one of their religious compounds in Indiana last Wednesday. The teen's family is part of the religious group. In a series of videos uploaded last Wednesday, the pastor compared the raid that took place that morning to the 1993 siege of cult leader David Koresh's compound in Waco, Texas. Despite teen Bryson Muir's face being visibly bruised and swollen, in particular both of his eyes, Pastor Dow says that things are not what they seem, and that he stands with Muir's parents, former NFL player Daniel Muir and his wife Kristen Muir. The parents were both taken into custody and charged with obstruction of justice on Wednesday after 3 SWAT teams, cops, K-9 units, and a bomb squad were used in a raid on Straitway's Indiana compound during morning prayer, according to law enforcement. The teen's grandmother previously told local Fox affiliate WXIN-TV that she believes her grandson is being brainwashed by his parents and the religious group they belong to. Bryson is so conditioned or brainwashed to their way of living that he wanted to go back after the police and FBI had seized him and got him away from the compound. Wright said of her grandson after discovering his bloody and bruised face when she picked him up on June 16th. The day she picked him up was the last time he was seen before his discovery by police on July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July. Wright says her grandson said his father is the one who caused the injuries to his face. Now remember, his right eye was completely closed and swollen, and his left eye was swollen. Daniel, ex-NFL Indianapolis Colts, Daniel Muir, was also charged with domestic battery in addition to the obstruction of justice charge. Wright also detailed that her daughter, Bryson's mother, said the teen had it coming, meaning the beating, and that he deserved it. It hurts. She says, the grandmother says, "It hurts me that my daughter would allow anyone to do that to her child." Now let's talk about the bizarre history of Straitway Truth Ministry, which is headquartered in Tennessee but has chapters throughout the country, including in Indiana, where the team was found. The church promotes a life of separation from mainstream society, advocating for a return to biblical law and the commandments as they interpret them. Some reports suggest that this includes large communal living, bartering systems, and living conditions so basic that some of them do not have any running water and they use buckets as toilets. Straitway Ministries has been accused of cult-like behaviors, including implementing extreme control over people's lives, financial exploitation, and even social isolation of members' families and friends outside of the church. Former members have also claimed that emotional, psychological, and even SA abuse, as well as misogyny, are part of the life on the compound. Straitway displays a hyper-masculine culture due to a strict following of the Old Testament, according to a former member. As a female there, you don't matter, former member Esther told Sports Illustrated. I grew up learning to hate myself and learning how to be basically a man's toy. But men are taught they are Yah's gift to earth, she said. The Southern Poverty Law Center, a nonprofit legal advocacy organization specializing in civil rights, has received several tips about Straitway potentially being a hate group. However, the Southern Poverty Law Center has not categorized the group as one. Pastor Dow says these claims are untrue, that the ministry is simply practicing its faith as they believe in strictly following biblical teachings to live a life outside of what they view as a corrupt mainstream society, according to new religious movements. And there's another NFL connection. Another notable member is Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer Kabir Gbaja-Biamala, who was arrested in 2019 for posting threatening messages to his children's school after he objected to their participation in a Christmas program put on by the district. Police later arrested the former Hall of Famer after people described as his followers showed up at the children's Christmas event armed with handguns later that same day. He later explained that Christmas is against his religion, and since 3 of his children were meant to perform in the pageant against his wishes, he asked Javon Salmi and Ryan Desmith, 22, to go on his behalf and record the performance. In March 2020, Gbaja-Biamala was arrested again and sentenced to 6 months in jail after being held in contempt during a divorce hearing where the ex-football star had been tased and subdued by 10 officers. Representing himself during the hearing, the ex-NFL player unsuccessfully argued that he is not a citizen of the Republic, suggesting his religious beliefs are above the law. He said, "I have my own laws which are superior," Gbaja-Biamala said to the judge, who tried to inform him it does not work that way in the courtroom. After the situation escalated, the 9-year NFL veteran was eventually handcuffed and confined to a chair and eventually agreed to sign the document, which dropped the contempt charge. Gbaja-Biamala was released later that day on bond after being charged with resisting arrest. He said, "She hates me for my religious beliefs." This is what Gbaja-Biamala said in a video after the incident, referring to his ex-wife. Since then, Gbaja-Biamala has reportedly cut off the outside world, including his children, and remarried within the church, saying he hopes to have new children so the ones he lost can be forgotten. So, where's the Straitway Ministries are a series of Hebrew Israelite church compounds throughout the country, and they are led by Pastor Charles Dowell. Based in Lafayette, Tennessee, the ministry is about working together and creating a community at each church branch, which will always consist of church, community garden, livestock, and housing, which are used for the local community church members. According to the website, the group's practices include communal living, with members often selling their belongings and donating the proceeds to the ministry. The communal life is centered around shared property in multiple states. Reports suggest that living arrangements can be quite basic, with some members residing in trailers without running water, using buckets as toilets, and a fire pit for disposal. Financial arrangements within the group have also brought allegations of financial abuse, including elders signing over their Social Security checks to Pastor Dowell, according to former members. Straitway Truth always has been at the center of allegations regarding cult-like behavior. Former members say this includes control over members' lives, financial exploitation, and the social isolation of members from friends and families outside the church, making it hard to escape due to threats of external damnation and loss of community. Former members have also reported emotional, psychological, and essay abuse taking place on the compound. And these are African American individuals. Pastor Dowell is a black man, and these two ex-NFL players are both African American. Daniel Muir, who played for the Indianapolis Colts, and of course, Agaba Biamala, who played 9 years for the Green Bay Packers. And he went to San Diego State, 6'4" gentleman, and played his entire career with Green Bay and was elected into the Green Bay Hall of Fame. This is an incredible story. And here again, we see whether it's prosperity pastors or large mega church pastors, and some of these cult-like ministries, there is some common themes of taking over their financial situation, definitely mind control, mind manipulation, having people isolate themselves from their family and the rest of the world. It's all about control and manipulation. Many of these leaders have multiple wives and are participating in all kinds of misconduct, whether it's physical abuse, sexual misconduct, or what have you. Here again, I say this in many of my videos, your passageway to God is a singular and monolithic stairway. It is not through another human being, another person that sins just like you. A human being on this earth that's a pastor does not have a first-class seat to God while you sit and coach. There are a lot of insecure people out here in this world that are trying to find external avenues to have a relationship with God or a sustainable life. But most of the things that you need in order to be a healthy and sustaining and God-fearing person comes from within your own soul and spirit. And if you are joining an organization where they want complete control of your life and want you to exclude everybody that you know, family, friends, and the outside world, this is probably not an organization that you should join, and you should run in the other direction. And many of these cult-like ministries and these leading pastors, once the FBI and they get on their radar, they end up going to jail and something, and an investigation starts, and there are all kinds of criminal allegations that get expounded upon with the kind of manipulation, physical and mental abuse that take place with these members. Tell me what you think about this Straitway cult-like Straitway Truth Ministry that's based out of Tennessee. They have multiple branches throughout the country. And if you're looking to find stability with God and within yourself and trying to have a positive, prosperous life, joining these conservative, mind-controlled ministries is not the way to go. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.